Hello everyone, this is Jake from Fife Paranormal. I want to talk a little bit about the next location we are going to be investigating, and that is the Staunton Train Depot in Staunton, Virginia. The Staunton Train Depot was built in 1854 and was destroyed during the Civil War by Union soldiers. It was rebuilt, and then it was destroyed again in an 1890 train wreck which claimed the lives of one person, Miss Myrtle Knox, who I'll get into her story in a little bit. We investigated the Staunton Train Depot in 2013, and it was actually the very first investigation I was ever on. So this was the very first Fife Paranormal investigation, and we ran into a lot of activity, which caught us by surprise because when you're there, it's kind of a calm feeling, and you don't really get the sense right off the bat that it's a paranormally active location, and it's close to downtown Staunton, and the noise from the traffic and all that stuff does overwhelm some of the evidence, so we had to put our recorders close to our spirit box and all that stuff. And there are a few bars in the area, so people can get kind of loud in the area. We investigated it on January 9th, 2013, and within about 10 minutes of being there, the spirits started speaking. And it was interesting for us because, especially being our first investigation as Fife Paranormal, the spirits were really intelligent, giving us their names, their ages, all of that stuff. But there's three main spirits that haunt the Staunton Train Depot. The little girl, Myrtle Knox, who ran away from her home in Kansas City to join an Oscar troupe, and she died. She was the only death from the 1890 train wreck, which I had the picture earlier in the video. William McMeacham, who was a Civil War veteran, fought in every major battle of the Civil War, and was later under the care of Dr. Joseph D. Jarnett, who was at the time working at Western State Mental Hospital. And William McMeacham was released one day to go out into town to see how he would do, and at this point he was an older man, and he wandered up onto the train tracks, and he was not temporarily, but he was partially deaf, and we believe he did not hear the train coming. He could have been suicidal, we don't know, but he was hit by the train and died. The third spirit that haunts the Staunton Train Depot is D.C. McClurry. Now, D.C. McClurry was a Civil War soldier from Arkansas, and he never saw combat because his regiment from Arkansas was shipped straight to Staunton. And his very first night in Staunton, he got drunk and wandered up onto the train tracks and was hit by a train. So those are the three main spirits that haunt the area. Last time we were there, we ran into a spirit by the name of Derek. And Derek is a little boy, and it was cool because he was kind of playing hide and seek with us. We were conducting a session. We'd see a short, about maybe age of 8 to 10. That seems to be his age, but he would hide behind the pillars and peek out, and when we would turn to look at him, he'd disappear. And then he'd show up behind rocks and all that stuff. So that's one of the spirits we've ran into. Now, it's also interesting because towards the end, we did run into a spirit that claimed to be a demonic entity. As for whether it was or not, we cannot say for sure. It felt like a lower level one if it was a demonic entity, but that definitely made things really interesting, and it's a really cool location. I love being at the Staunton Train Depot, not just for the paranormal, but for the history of it. And we've only investigated it 3 times in the course of 4.5 years, and other than the very first investigation, we have never done a full-on investigation. Usually since then, it's just taking a voice recorder up there, asking questions, but this time we're going to be taking all of our equipment. So stay tuned for that. I will have more videos talking about Staunton Train Depot up soon. Have a good day.